Oz told like a few people about this, like Blair's employee and Wonderstruck, saying that Blair had cheated on him. And then because of this says that Blair is under the information and belief that it was around this time all defendants began plotting to effectively ruin Miss Blair's business, reputation, and life. Again, a very vague statement. Like, how are you going to prove that these people were plotting to ruin your business, reputation, and life? How are you going to prove that? She then goes on to reference a tweet that Oz Media made and just sends a link to the tweet, doesn't actually quote it. And then she goes on to kind of mention more of the stuff that she mentioned before. But again, like, being very vague with this stuff, which is what she was meant to change. Like, that's what this amended complaint was supposed to be. She then goes on to talk about Wonderstruck and the whole car situation. And after she took the car back off Wonderstruck, she says that approximately 1 month after the above occurred, defendant Wonderstruck's father sent a demand letter seeking personal belongings from the vehicle, which I mean is a very fair thing to do. He gave a list of the things that was in that car that was taken by Blair that he never got back. It was a lot of expensive things. I believe there was like a PlayStation in there, and like a monitor and whatnot. And she actually goes on to say that when she was unpacking this vehicle, and by the way, she never mentions like that the items were given back to Wonderstruck. But she says when she was unpacking the vehicle, she found documentation of Mr. Wonderstruck's intent to permanently relocate to Texas. Now, the reason why this is important information is because in their agreement that they signed for the car, Wonderstruck had to stay in the state that he lived in. And obviously one of Blair's reasons for taking the car back was that Wonderstruck went out of the state. He went to Texas. And she's actually saying here that she found documentation after taking the car back that Wonderstruck's intent was to permanently relocate to Texas. Now, Mad Catz actually says in his video that it's very important to say that this documentation, which she doesn't specify, she doesn't say what it is, but apparently this documentation proves his intent to relocate. He hadn't actually moved yet, which as Mad Catz says doesn't go against the agreement because he hadn't moved yet. Now at this point in the complaint, she goes on to talk about the NDA that her employees had to sign. And basically in the NDA it says the parties agree that disclosure of pyramid information including but not limited to company history, operations, to include but not limited to an individual's employment or ownership, blah 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 blah, basically like not talking about private information within the company. Now, the reason she says this is because she then goes on to talk about how Felix the Kit Kat went against this NDA. Now, remember, the reason why Felix the Kit Kat is even involved in this in the first place is because he tweeted out a screenshot from a conversation with him and Blair, where Blair reached out to him, offered him to pay, I think it was like $200, to look through old footage that they had recorded and find a clip of the click saying a slur. Now, Blair's big complaint against Felix here is saying that he went against the company's NDA that he signed. But a big piece of information that she leaves out in this is that the conversation that Felix the Kit Kat showed happened before he was even employed, meaning he hadn't signed anything at this point. He didn't sign an NDA. So he was under no agreement at the time of this conversation. Now at this point, towards the end of the complaint, she goes on to talk about the actual damages that have happened here, okay? She's trying to be a bit more specific. And she actually says that her revenue dropped by more than 95% after Oz Media's video. She went from $47,000 in the period September 16th, 2022 to October 1st, 2022. And apparently that dropped to $2,300 during the same period a year later. But then she also goes on to blame Wonderstruck's video, saying that she went from $27,000 in the period of May 11th, 2022 to June 1st, 2022, all the way down to $10,000 during the same period a year later. And then goes on to blame Felix the Kit Kat, which might be the most laughable one out of these three, saying that her revenue actually dropped from $74,000 in the period November 23rd, 2022 to December 23rd, 2022 to $2,751 during that same period a year later.
And we're back with another review, and this time I'm going to talk about episode 2 and 3, since in all honesty nothing really happened in episode 3. Like, something technically did happen, just whatever. I'll talk about it in a bit. Anyway, let's get into this, since we are finally getting into the actual story of the show and not just recapping on what happened in the pilot, live streams, Q&As, Patreon exclusives, and Viv's Twitter. So let's recap episode 2. We open on the hotel, which, look, I get they changed it to be more animation friendly, but I kind of don't vibe with this design. Like, the hotel is still supposed to be falling apart and mishmashed, but it's kind of too clean. I don't know, I just missed the charm of the other design because it felt more like new owners were building on top of it. But anyway, we cut to Charlie recapping what happened last episode, and she's freaking out, which I don't really get. It's not like her hotel is on the line for anything. All Adam said was they'll be back in 6 months. He never really said if the hotel doesn't succeed in 6 months, then we'll stop you from helping people, or we're gonna kill everybody at the hotel. I don't even think it was implied when they had their meeting, so like, what is she so upset about besides the extermination? But whatever, Angel says the hotel is stupid and that people are losing their minds over the cut time, and Vaggie gets the idea to take advantage of the panic and recruit more sinners, which, yay, more focus on the hotel, right? Right? Well, Serpent just shows up wanting to fight Alistair. We get a hint to the pilot. Well, honestly, this whole scene seems like a nod to the pilot because it's pretty similar to the end. Like, Sir P wants to fight, Alistair has no idea who he is, and Looney Tunes him out of the way. Though this time they add the setup to the V's since Sir P says something and Nifty, our sweet thing, asks, who are the V's? And Alistair just says, nobody important, which I should have seen this coming, but we go straight to the V's tower and spend 5 uninterrupted minutes with the V's, and we're not even fully into the episode, and all that happens is Vox gets a call from Velvet to come take care of Valentino, and he goes on his way to do just that, but he gets stopped, shows us he can use mind control and can teleport his way through cameras, which why didn't he do that instead of going upstairs to talk to the news people? Anyway, he goes to Velvet's studio, and she's setting up for some kind of show. Her dialogue about her best model is kind of confusing, but we get to see Velvet's powers of making clothes out of thin air, and Vox says she's got everything under control, which Velvet says the most cringe-inducing lines ever. Like, she was doing so good till that last bit. It just seemed off. I sometimes feel the cussing in the show is so weird, because sometimes they add cuss words to sentences that don't really need it, or put them in weird places, making the dialogue sound insane. But anyway, we finally get to Valentino, and I don't know what I was expecting voice-wise, but it certainly was not this.
Fucking finally! Kitty, another drink! Can you believe what that piece of shit did? The ungrateful...
Like, I'm cool with Velvet's voice, and Vox is fine. I kind of thought they were gonna add an effect like Alistair, but he just sounds like your typical white boy. But Val, Jesus, what was the voice direction? He's doing like 10 different accents, and it's all back to back of each other. Like if they were trying to have him have a fake Italian sounding accent that slipped when he got angry, then that would have been fine. But it's like 4 different voices coming out. Like, I'm not crazy. Do y'all hear it too?
That fucking slut with some mildly entertaining hole. He thinks he can just walk in here, work. She's got this hotel, and which of these makes me look sexier? Fuck it up. Killing Alistair is your kink.
The whole time he's yelling about Angel moving out, I'm like, what is happening with the VA's voice? Stop it, just, So yeah, after trying to process his voice, we learn Vox is more in control than Val than we thought, which I'm kind of surprised by, because if they're in a relationship, you'd think Val's toxic tendencies would bleed over with Vox, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Also, does anyone else feel like Val is too much of a joke this whole episode? I get episode 4 is supposed to show that part of him more, but people like Val are like that all the time and aren't all that stupid or swayed. But either way, Val tells Vox that Alistair is at the hotel and he freaks out. We watch as Alistair has beaten Sir P, yet was able to rip Alistair's coat, sending him flying. Alistair leaves to get his coat fixed and leaves workers to fix the wall Sir P blew up. And we go right back to Vox, and we learn Vox and Alistair fought at some point and that he's been gone for 7 years. Connection to Lilith in bright lights right there. And we get into the first song, which is pretty good till Alistair starts up, and I'm sorry, I'm sure the VA is really good, but I just can't with his voice. It's not as animated as Bosco or Gabriel's.
Alistair, I think he's had enough.
Either way, the song is good. It just loses a bit when Alistair and Vox both sing. Plus, Alistair is super old school, so why does he know so many meme words? Kind of hoped to hear him use 1930s slang, but oh well. I will say the animation for the song is really good. I enjoyed the back and forth and playing with scenes, and the last part where Alistair is singing by himself is really good, though his creepy design is kind of meh. I mean, the up close face I love, though I wish there was more static happening like his pilot moments, you know, just to elevate the scene a little more. Anyway, we're 11 minutes in, and what I thought was going to be the A plot finally kicks into gear when Vox has the bright idea to send someone to spy on Alistair at the hotel. And surprise, it's Sir P, because right as Charlie and Vaggie get back, he's at the door, Alistair style. Vaggie has the right idea of not letting him in, but Charlie, being desperate and nice, lets him in. Angel is not for it, but does nothing, though at least we know it's been 6 hours. I honestly thought it was at least 3. Anyway, Charlie does a quick tour of the hotel and says how excited she is to have a real guest, which fair, but Angel gets butthurt, which also fair, but Vaggie points out that he doesn't try and makes them look bad. So of course, Charlie is happy to have someone actually interested. We move on to probably my second favorite joke out of the whole episode, where Alistair and Sir P talk for a bit and Charlie makes Sir P say sorry, and Alistair burns the piece of his coat Sir P got, and it honestly truly made me laugh. But we do also learn Alistair's job title, Facilities Manager, which I think is just fancy for maintenance man. Anyway, we finally get to see what Charlie does to possibly have sinners change, and I guess it makes sense to play a get to know you game. But Sir P playing along was actually very cute. Vaggie as well. Angel, of course, doesn't want to play, and we jump cut to Angel and Sir P doing a role play exercise, which Angel says my favorite joke of selling crack to an innocent kid while Sir P licks a sucker when he's not, when they're not. Angel and Sir P finish their performance, and of course Sir P gives his all, and Charlie is super happy and says he'll be redeemed in no time. Angel gets upset and goes to bed, which we were just outside. How is it nighttime already? Anyway, Angel watches as Charlie praises Sir P, and like, okay, I get it. He's feeling underappreciated, but like, he's not even really trying. Plus, we're only in episode 2, so like, the progression is just a bit off. Anyway, we go to Angel's room and listen to him listen to Val's voicemails, which I'm trying. I really am. I understand the tone and message of someone like Val. I've had my own Vals, but the voice direction.
Kill your whole fucking family. Hey, Angie, little cocksucking piece of shit.
I can't. I just can't take it seriously. Good thing it doesn't last long, and we follow Angel back to the lobby just in time to catch Sir P hiding a big ass camera. Like, my nanny cam is better than that thing, but Angel catches him and they fight. We see Sir P's eyes in action. Very cool. And Vaggie and Charlie come into the room, and look, I know I sound like a broken record, but if Angel went to bed first and listened to a few seconds of Val's voicemails and walked back to the lobby, I'd guess like 20 minutes went by tops. Yet Charlie and Vaggie walk in like it's 4 a.m. Plus the lighting in the room isn't even any different from the lobby. How does time work here? Damn. Anyway, Sir P tries to stick to the lie that he's there to be redeemed, but Angel shows the camera. Sir P freaks out and calls Vox for help, and Vox says it hasn't even been a day and that Sir P should unalive himself. Which, okay, rude, but he gives up immediately and says they can kill him. And Charlie breaks into song about saying sorry, and look, you're all sleeping on this song, okay? It's actually really good, and I love that the voice actor for Sir P is singing in his character's voice, plus I think he and Charlie sing pretty well together. Anyway, we get another good joke from Nifty, and wow, so her arms and legs aren't black. Good to know. Everyone walks off. Of course, now the lighting changes when Alistair walks in and talks to Vox, telling him to try harder. What an episode. Let's just get into the thoughts. Okay, I can't be the only one who thought the story, aka the A and B plot of the episode, was lacking. Like, this is season 1, episode 2. We should still be somewhat focused on the main cast and the hotel. Yet we spend 9 minutes with the V's. Yes, I'm counting the song. Like, okay, I get it if they're being set up to be the villains of the season, fine. But they aren't. They don't even really come back at all. I mean, you could argue Valentino because he's important to Angel's story, but other than that, they do absolutely nothing. So did we really need to give them 9 minutes of screen time to basically introduce themselves and do nothing till the last minute to have Sir P go to the hotel? In all honesty, they should have been the B plot to the episode. I mean, it would have been pretty believable for Vox to know Alistair is at the hotel without Valentino telling him he's there. Like, the hotel has a commercial. In fact, they have 2, so it wouldn't be a surprise if Vox saw it and sent Sir P to spy. We don't even really need the fight scene between Alistair and Sir P, or maybe we could. Like, have him show up early and have Sir P say he saw the commercial and wants to join the hotel, sees Alistair, tries to talk to him, but Alistair doesn't remember him, which gets Sir P upset, and they fight in the hotel, starting Charlie's lesson about sorry and asking Alistair to leave for a bit so Sir P can feel welcome, which gives Sir P reasons to plant cameras all over the hotel, with the added scenes of showing Angel trying to participate to get some praise from Charlie. But Sir P is doing so well that Angel is getting more and more pissed off till he loses it, causing Charlie to kind of turn on him in favor of Sir P. Like, the episode really should have been the start of Angel feeling left out and not taken seriously, and given all the other characters more screen time to bond and kind of show that Sir P actually likes being liked, while Alistair deals with Vox, and we can still get the introductions to the V's. It just needs to be sped up a little bit. I mean, they don't really need much. I mean, Vox and Alistair are rivals. Velvet and Val don't really need to be involved. And if Vox is so obsessed with Al, then he should have been the one to find out that Alistair was staying at the hotel. He didn't need Val to tell him. Plus, I don't even buy the fact that Angel would even say that Alistair is at the hotel. Like, he had no idea who this man was and didn't even care at the end of it. So it's like, why would you text Val back that Alistair is staying here? Also, I get Velvet needed some time so we could get to know her, but I think it would have been better if she had a super quick intro and then had episode 3 happen, giving us an even bigger look into her personality, because the time used on her introduction wasn't really needed in my opinion. But you guys know me and the whole time thing. I am counting how much time goes into the A and B plot because I'm pretty sure we've all seen other reviews say the same thing, that the story and pacing is extremely fast in the show. And yes, I understand the season is 8 episodes, but if shows like Invincible and Solar Opposites can do it, I think Has-Been could have as well. And don't say they didn't know they were getting a second season. They knew. Hell, the trailer even told us. Even the team themselves said they were currently working on it, so no, they weren't rushed because they didn't know they'd get a second season. Overall, the episode was fine. I did truly enjoy what little we got of Sir P and the hotel moments, and Sir P actually kind of made me want to watch more because of his silly personality. The V's were okay. They were what I always assumed they would be based on everything Viv has said, because any deeper feelings that I had for them was mostly due to the fans, since the fans are the ones who made them way worse than they actually are. Like, in all honesty, I truly believe that the fans are the reason that this show has succeeded the way it has. Like, do you guys agree with that? Because that's how I personally feel. Oh, I also really loved the animation used for the first song, but It Starts With Sorry is probably my favorite. Now, as for the VAs, we got 4 new voices. They were all okay. Like, Sir Pinch's was actually pretty spot on from his pilot voice, and I got used to it pretty quickly. Vox's voice was just, again, okay. Like, it wasn't anything special or different. Again, I kind of wish he had more of an old school TV show host voice, but what we got was fine. I still kind of wish he had some sort of effect on his voice since he's a TV head. And Velvet was also fine, a little too hammy for me personally, but she didn't talk enough for me to really care. And this is just a me thing, but I will always prefer actual British actors because there's just something off when an American does the accent. Like, I find it funny British people can do an American accent like it's nothing, but American actors doing the accent sounds kind of off, or they do way too much, you know? And as for Valentino, yeah, no, I don't know what was going on behind the scenes or if it was all some kind of joke, but it was bad. I'm sorry, I tried, I really did, but the dropping of the accent, sure, could be fake, fine, but to have like multiple other accents and voices just really put me out of everything he said. Like, again, no hate to the VA, but it was so bad. It was almost like a joke. And speaking of jokes, the jokes were fine. I find there was less cussing this episode, or maybe I just tuned it out, but I enjoyed the more subtle jokes. Alistair burning his coat in front of Sir Pinch's was hilarious, and the acting exercise was fun. Honestly, anything that had more focus on Sir Pinch's was hilarious. All of Val's jokes, if you can call them that, didn't land for me, and I don't think Vox had any jokes other than the song parts. And speaking of song parts, I already said it, but I did really like the songs we got for this episode. Everyone did pretty well, but It Starts With Sorry is probably my favorite due to how well Charlie and Sir P harmonized and the fact he stayed in character. And though I do like Vox and Al's song, I don't think they harmonized well. And since I am currently from the future doing all of this, it seems it will be a reoccurring issue I have going forward with Alistair's VA. So yeah, I'd rate episode 2 a 7 out of 10. It's better than episode 1, but it has the same problems of over-explaining and forcing the important parts out of the way for the songs and new characters. Because having to introduce 4 new characters when we haven't even gotten to know our 6 main characters yet is just too much for a second episode, in my opinion. Okay, I lied. So, due to how long these videos seem to be taking me to make, I wasn't able to squish episode 3's review, which ironically is longer than this video. For an episode that truly had nothing going on, I had a lot more to say than I thought. So, yeah, sorries all around. If I wasn't currently not at my house and getting constantly interrupted by my family and needing to eat and sleep, this would have been done much sooner. But yeah, also, it's still gonna take some time for the review of episode 3, but to help the time go by, Redesign Rosie will drop between them. Also, if you're this far into the video, thank you. But also to the select few, please stop asking if I'm going to draw Maman. I haven't forgotten, I just don't feel like it. And the more some of y'all ask, the more I don't want to do it. So just to make sure that any of y'all did hear me, please leave a green heart emoji in the comments. Anywho, on a lighter note, I know it seems like I don't enjoy this episode, but I did. I had fun with a lot more than the first episode and found a few things that would have been amazing if explored more, which I'm just happy to add to the overall. But yeah, so win-win for me. Anyway, let me know how you all felt. I know the show has been out for a while, but it's fun to talk it out still. Anyway, remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. It really helps out the channel and me. I hope you all have a super fantastic day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!
Are you seeing it? It's spinning. There's a whole swarm of them.
There was an historic hearing today on Capitol Hill.
Oompa, 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 oompa,
The Biebers have become a big topic of discussion this week, and it isn't because it's Justin Bieber's 30th birthday today. Though the singer is celebrating his birthday, fans have grown concerned over how he's doing, spreading theories around about the status of his marriage, health, and much more after some cryptic posts were shared on social media this week. Those who associate with him and Hailey, including Hailey's own father, are the main reason for all of this. It's turned into a whole big conversation where people are sending prayers and well wishes to the two of them, or they're sending hate. And to be clear, there's no confirmation of anything bad going on or any sort of rocky road between him and Hailey. Everything has just been based off of assumption right now. On Wednesday night, Justin and Hailey were seen attending a late night church service. The two were dressed casual for the outing. Justin seemed to be hiding his face from the paparazzi, which I feel like isn't too rare from Justin. He has days where he's smiling and happy and like wants to take pictures with fans, and then he has days where he's avoiding the paparazzi, which is understandable. But in this situation, people are reading into literally everything, so they're taking Justin hiding from the paparazzi as some key point in all of this. But the reason why people are so concerned right now has to do with the fact that Victor Marks, who is the founder of the All Things Possible Ministries, took to his Instagram page this week to urge his 350,000 followers to pray for the celebrity couple. Victor posted a video of Justin playing the guitar and singing, "I Could Sing of Your Love Forever." He wrote, "Christians, please, when you think of Justin and Hailey, take a moment to offer a little prayer for them to have wisdom, protection, and to draw close to the Lord." The post has since been deleted, but it's been circulating around online as people are like, what the heck does this mean? In the caption, Victor wrote, "I seldom like to post about certain folks in the limelight because of the negative comments we get. Eileen and Hailey's mom pray often together for Justin and Hailey and our children as well. There are special challenges that folks in high visibility positions face, and also the enemy doesn't want them to draw closer to Jesus. So often, regardless of the material things or the accolades, they often face spiritual warfare that intends and seeks to shipwreck their faith, marriage, and life in general. So thank you." Once this was out, people were assuming the worst. They were like, these two are headed to divorce, something's going on in their personal lives. Everyone was just assuming because this man decided to share this with the world. Haley and Justin have not been shy about their faith, as the two of them have opened up about attending church, and they've been seen attending many times over the years together. And in the YouTube series that Haley does called A Conversation With, she had claimed in an episode that if her and Justin didn't have their Christianity, then they wouldn't even be together.
They ask me all the time, they're like, oh, what would you say is like the biggest thing in your relationship and you guys are really happy? And I'm like, it's our faith, it's what we believe in. If we didn't have that, we wouldn't even be here. We wouldn't even be together.
And girl, on the album Justice, I said, oh, he loves this woman.
So they're super open about their faith, but the fact that Victor decided to post this, well, it wasn't good, because he's admitting that he doesn't post mostly because the negative comments that usually come when they post about someone who has a large following or is in the limelight. And maybe he'll learn to just like never do this again, because this has turned into such a huge situation. I mean, on Reddit, there's so many discussions about him being had right now, calling him out for being invasive to both Haley and Justin's private life. Regardless of what is going on, this is obviously going to cause speculation. They're two super high profile individuals. But I will say there's one person who didn't think it was invasive though, and that was Haley's dad, who took it upon himself to actually repost what Victor had shared on Instagram. Yes, her dad literally reposted this onto his own Instagram story, which was obviously going to amplify the conversation surrounding the couple and what on earth could be going on with them. And with the way Haley and Justin have had major eyes on them their entire relationship, and there's been people against Haley and constantly speculating on whether or not Justin is happy with her, this is not the couple to just be throwing around some vague Instagram stories about. And you would think her dad of all people would know not to bring up any sort of like ammo to start a conversation about them, because I imagine she has vented to her family about the things that people have said to her, so they would hopefully be aware of how the public feels towards her or how things could be interpreted or misinterpreted. And
a year after I lost Ahmad, I had to come up with something where people would still call his name.
That they wouldn't want to fuel anything even remotely negative about them. Even if this was posted in good faith, I mean, it certainly does open the door for people to wonder about their personal lives, and I think that's the last thing that these two would want to happen, especially starting from people that they're close with. But people have this major idea that there's something going on between Haley and Justin, and to feed into it some more, TMZ alleged that there's actually a situation going on with the couple, writing sources with direct knowledge told TMZ that Steven's plea for guidance and well wishes towards his daughter and son-in-law did not just come out of nowhere and was related to something specific that's going on with the young couple. They also shared that allegedly Haley wasn't too pleased with her dad sharing this kind of post around, as they wrote, "While we weren't told what the issue is, the one thing we know for certain is that it's a private thing that Justin and Haley are dealing with. Whatever it is, Steven is obviously aware of it and wanted to pass along good vibes in the form of prayers from others. And while he probably only meant well with this move, sources tell us Haley is not pleased with her dad drawing attention to them." Haley's father did break his silence following his repost of asking for prayers when on Thursday, he shared an Instagram reel of himself that people felt was well off. And the comments were filled with people telling Justin to run away from this family. In it, he talked about deception, and it was certainly interesting.
All kinds of competition, war, and gamesmanship usually includes some kind of deception. Now, clearly, throughout our and society, we see deception. Now, the provocateurs of such are very nervous. Only because they do not know that peace beyond our understanding.
Now, Justin hasn't been offline though. Throughout this whole week where people have been speculating if there's something wrong with him or there's something going on with him and Haley, he hasn't been not posting on Instagram. He's been pretty active on his Instagram stories, reposting something from Ryan Reeves from the Toronto Maple Leafs, as well as a repost of his friend Donnie's recent Instagram. And I feel like this happens every couple of months or at least once a year where people feel like these two are headed towards divorce. There's certainly tons of people rooting against them, and I just think even if you absolutely hate them or hate Haley, just let them live. I mean, whatever happens, happens. But tons of people have been assuming things are going wrong between them since all these Instagram posts have been going around asking for prayers, and it's led Haley to getting tons of hate under her recent Instagram post. Her recent post was on Valentine's Day, and the photo dump that she posted didn't include Justin, which alarmed people in the comments, and they have just kept going since all of this has been going on. Most of her comments are hate towards her and excitement over the possibility of a divorce, which is quite cruel. I mean, I usually try not to give opinions, but wishing for someone's divorce is wild, especially when you're saying like, I love Justin, get away from him, or I'm praying for the divorce. Like, if you actually love Justin Bieber and you want the best for him, praying for him to get a divorce is like the meanest thing ever. Like, you don't want someone to go through that. I know people in their minds probably think that, you know, Haley is bad and that's why they want him to get a divorce, but I'm like, the process of a divorce is just so sad and hard. Like, wishing that on someone is horrible. But people have been commenting this kind of stuff on Haley's post. Some of the recent comments that she's gotten is, your side of the family is the only one fighting for you to stay together because they are the only ones gaining from this whole marriage. Justin clearly needs help and no one is doing anything about it except let's use him to promote road. Please, he's clearly unhappy. Just let him go. He's no saint either, but you two should have never gotten married. Not Baldwiner's dad confirming Justin is miserable. They are on the brink of divorce and asking for prayer request. Divorce is coming. Hashtag free Justin. Don't let manipulative Baldwin's clan control you through using religion. Haley isn't faithful. She uses everything for her aim. No photos together with her husband smells divorce. I pray for the divorce. There's so many people rooting against them, you guys, when we don't even know what's going on. And if everything is all right between them, I can't even imagine what that is like to have so many people hate the relationship that you're in. I mean, I know people don't like her and they have their reasons, but to just assume a divorce based on an Instagram post, asking for prayers, and then just going ahead and sending hate and prayers on their downfall, it's just so much. And I just think it's wild how truly invested people are in this potential downfall. I will say that in terms of the Baldwin family, Haley isn't the only one getting some heat this week though. Haley is obviously getting backlash without any reports of her doing anything specifically, just, you know, the whole asking for prayers thing. But her sister is now getting comments saying that she's the one her dad should have been praying for because she was arrested in Georgia earlier this week over what cops claim was a wild brawl at a bar. Apparently her sister Alea had been acting out while she was at this bar over the weekend, and the owner called 911 to report her as he claimed she was attacking his staff and refusing to leave the establishment. So once all this came out, people were like, wow, the dad was really praying for the wrong daughter here. And it's just added to how messy this week has been for this entire family. The whole thing has just been crazy to see, and I just hope everyone involved in this is happy and healthy and that everything is okay. Hopefully they just had a good night at church or something, and their pastor just really wanted to show the love by having people send them extra prayers, and there's nothing more to it than that. And hopefully her dad just thought it was a nice gesture and reposted it thinking, oh, like that's sweet or something. Everyone should give them a little extra prayer. But as of right now, that's what we know about these two and what people have been talking about and why they've been trending. If there's any more updates to this or the two of them decide to speak out and address things, I will let you guys know. I love you guys so much, and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye, guys.
Planning your wedding is stressful enough. Let Salsaritas prepare, deliver, and set up your taco bar so you can.
Today we've got a crazy entitled parent story about a father telling their kid they don't.
Getting back to the point, MLP Equestria Girls is a spin-off series of the popular 4th generation relaunch of My Little Pony, which is owned by Hasbro, which was a mistake. The television show which the movie is based off of, Friendship is Magic, aired on October 10th, 2010 on the Hub Network, which was a double mistake. The movie released on June 16, 2013 in theaters after the 3rd season of Friendship is Magic, and then later aired on the Hub on September 1st, 2013 that same year. God, that was the gayest shit I've ever said in my life.
Alright, let's play Smash or Pass with the boys.
Oh, brother, here we go.
Alright, boys, Dumbsville, Smash or Pass? Are we smashing or passing on Dumbs? What's the...
I'm passing.
Whoa, hey, wait, yo, hold on!
Look, I'm not gonna waste your time and talk about how the bronies were mad that this movie took time out of the 3rd season and how it's not canon or it's not pony enough. Yes, these are real criticisms. Yes, I'm being serious. And no, bronies are totally not being man-children like Marvel fans. Jesus Christ. Equestria Girls has been talked about to death already, and I don't want anyone to look this garbage up. I'd rather you watch a real man's movie like Mr. Popper's Penguins. I don't You know, this movie took a piece of me that I don't think I can ever get back. It has wasted my time, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 8 times. I'm pretty sure I've seen this movie 8 times, so I suffered for this video. My sanity suffered for this video. This movie honestly was just made by Hasbro to sell more toys, which it did, and hopefully continued to spin off into its own series, which it also sadly did. Maybe I'll talk about the other movies another time. I also know there's TV specials and the YouTube shorts, but I already hate the idea of me having to consume more MLP content than I have to in the first place. But if you want to really see me suffer through more MLP content in the future, leave a comment down below. I read all comments. But with that out the way, let's just get right into it. My Little Pony. God. Equestria Girls.
Yo, Pierre, you wanna come out here?
The film opens up with a shot of our quote-unquote anime protagonist arriving to the land of Equestria. More specifically, the Crystal Empire. This is where we meet Twilight Sparkle, which is the main character in this movie. She's just become the princess of friendship and she's trying to meet everyone's expectations. And if you didn't know that by now, then you should have just watched the show. Duh. Please don't watch this show. You'll never recover from it. You gotta watch that My Little Pony lore 10-hour long video essay.
Twilight! Oh, sorry, darling, but I just realized you're not wearing your crown.
Crown?
You are a princess now, Twilight. Embrace it. I'm telling you, if I had a crown like that...
Crown. BK the Ruler reference? So anyways, back to the film. So Twilight and her friends walk into this room and bump into this wannabe Ken Carson. No, not that Ken Carson. Kenneth Sean Carson from those awful Barbie movies. Oh, don't worry, that's not his actual real name, but we'll get to him later. This is where we meet our other 3 princesses, Princess Celestia, Princess Cadence, and I don't know, the emo one Luna. Yo, you think she listens to Playboy Cardi? Or Destroy Lonely? Top flow boss. Yeah. And that's it. Wow, what a great scene. Hi Twilight. Okay, bye Twilight. Wow, what amazing dialogue. I hope this continues through the rest of the movie, right?
Her Highness, Princess.
So after that exciting day of being on the Snowpiercer train and meeting our masters.
Hey gamers, post-production B-Fox here with this $20 Xbox headset. Just to say, I haven't seen Snowpiercer. Please don't roast me. I've never seen that show. Wait, hold on, let me change that right quick.
5 minutes later.
What the fuck is happening in this show?
Twilight tells Spike her pet assistant dragon political shit that nobody fucking cares about, and her doubts of being a leader because she just became the princess of friendship. Ah, the title credits. We skipped those in the certified feet fox. Hey, who's writing this?
How do you spell my name?
Oh. Then after that, we see a mysterious figure sneak into the castle. I wonder who that could be. Totally not the main villain, of course. They then take Twilight Sprinkler's crown, but unfortunately for them, they're in a dumb kids movie for girls. So they trip over Spike instead.
My crown! She's got my crown!
Then they try chasing her. Then Twilight tries to bite her. What? You have magic powers. Oh wait, here you go. Maybe she'll do something. Or not. Dang, it looks like Miss Baconhead over here watched Jumper 2009, the best movie of all time. They chase her some more. The crown goes into the portal from Portal 2, and she escapes because she had mod hacks on. I don't fucking know. Who cares? Who cares? Then the main six, god damn it, why is that an extra term in the show, go to Celestia and then explain what happened. It turns out that Miss Baconhead over here, aka Sunset Shimmer, had been a student of Celestia's a long time ago. Sunset basically didn't get her way, then started acting like a bitch, and then went to another dimension. Now, what was the reason why she left, you may ask? Oh, just read the comic that came out 4 months after the movie was released, you fucking nerd. You know, I wish things like this were in the actual movie. I know it's not much, it's only 8 pages long, but at least it's like something.
I suppose Sunset Shimmer thought you wouldn't notice right away that this was not yours. And by the time you did, it would be too late to go after you.
But I don't understand. Where did she go? Where did she take the girl?
Princess Luna then explains that every 30 moons this magical portal opens to another world, basically. They then explain to Twilight that if she doesn't get her crown back, basically Equestria is screwed.
Twilight, you must use the mirror to go into this other world and retrieve your crown. Without it, the other elements of harmony have no power and Equestria is left without one of its most important means of defense.
Bruh. You know, their whole government defense force, of course. Cause why not? It's not like you have a royal guard or something. Oh, wait.
And in her possession, your element of harmony will no doubt be used to bring harm to the inhabitants of this other realm.
Oh, okay.
They will not have the power to defend themselves.
I don't think she understands that. But we're gonna look at a K with him. So after being told that she can only go through the portal alone for reasons,
Sending all of you could upset the balance of this alternate world, creating havoc that would make it impossible for Twilight to get the crown back from Sunset Shimmer. This is something Princess Twilight must do alone.
she goes through the portal like a true girl boss, like Shell from the Portal games. Also, Spike comes along too, I guess, because he has daddy issues. No, wait, it'd be mommy issues. You know, maybe I shouldn't talk about a pet slave child dragon having separation anxiety from his only maternal figure in his life, who's also his master, by the way. So after that dark realization I just had in my head, they come out of the portal looking like this, and this happens.
Spike? Are you a dog?
I think so, but I have no idea what you are.
Huh?
Shawty's like a melody.
So after going through the portal, Twilight and Spike turn into a human and a dog. Why human and a dog? Well, it turns out they went to another dimension. The other dimension being Earth. More specifically, Canterlot High.
Yeah, I don't think that's how the new you is supposed to.
The guy sees a talking dog, it just says nothing. What a brilliant movie. 10 out of 10 movie. I only bring this up because later in the movie, he talks and nobody cares.
Yeah, I don't think that's how the new you is supposed to. Those are my girls! Woohoo!
Did that dog just talk? Whoa, weird.
Seriously? The talking dog is the weird thing about all this?
So after Spike tells that amazing joke and Twilight bangs her head into the wall.
Come on, Spike. I do not want to be like this for longer than I have to.
Well, look on the bright side. You don't have those pesky wings to worry about anymore.
Twilight bumbles her way through the hallway and meets Fuckboy Sentry, and then a song plays. God damn it. God. Yeah, I'm gonna mention it right now. This movie has a lot of musical numbers. They're pretty bad. Yeah, I'm not gonna waste your time, because one, fuck YouTube. They suck. Copyright sucks. And two, I just can't be asked. I can't be asked. Plus, these scenes don't add anything to the plot. They're just like generic high school, oh, I'm a girl. Oh, look at me. I'm a girl. High school girl. Ah, pretty. Boys. You know, that generic stuff. Anyways, so after that amazing song Twilight sung about